The Grey Goose Breeders' Cup Juvenile. This was the first ever Breeders' Cup race, run at the start of the championship at Hollywood Park in 1984.
And I think it's required as a broadcaster, Randy, that when you broadcast the Grey Goose Breeders' Cup Juvenile and you're at Churchill Downs, you must use the line, well, who knows, maybe we're seeing some horses in the Kentucky Derby next year. These are the best 2-year-olds out there hitting to the same track that their connections hope they will be on come the first Saturday of May 2012.
Maybe we're seeing another Street Sense.
He's the only one.
Juvenile.
He's the only one that did it, though, Randy.
Then went on to win the Kentucky Derby. And there, as you get a look at the field, is your favorite. The 10 Union Rags, so impressive, winning the Champagne Stakes last time out. Currently at 6-5 in a 13-horse field.
Let's go back and look at Union Rags. There he is, the number 10, famous trainer Michael Matz, who of course has had great success at Churchill Downs, and the Ascension Jet Perfect Trip Award that's awarded for a challenge race winner. It goes to Union Rags for this performance in the Champagne Stakes. Very, very impressive.
Yeah, you can see him drawing away from this field right now, but it was anything but a perfect trip before that. He was checked, blocked, angled out, angled in, and still was able to win. So great performance.
And earlier today we had the award presentation for the Ascension Jet Perfect Trip.
Joining me down here in the winner's circle for the presentation of the Ascension Jet Perfect Trip 2011, the owner of Union Rags, the winner of this award, delights to welcome Phyllis Wyeth, and the presenter from Ascension Jet, our sponsors of this award, the Vice President Sales, Chris Clare. A very special award, Chris.
It sure is. On behalf of everybody at Ascension Jet, a company that's truly dedicated to providing perfect trips, congratulations on a wonderful win for you and Union Rags. The perfect trip.
And Ms. Wyeth, Union Rags, a wonderful story. You bought the horse back, and he's already done you proud.
Absolutely. It was my dream come true. I mean, I always had kept fillies, but I had a dream and said, you got to get this horse back.
How does it feel to be here on Breeders' Cup Day with a big shout?
Well, I couldn't believe seeing world champions from my little farm to have this horse come. I broke into tears getting out of the car.
Ms. Wyeth, congratulations on this award. Let's hope you have another one to join it later on this afternoon. The Ascension Jet Perfect Trip. The winner, Union Rags.
There is Union Rags, 6-5 to take the Grey Goose Breeders' Cup Juvenile. Phyllis Wyeth, she really knew what she was doing. She had a seller's remorse, Randy.
Sold the horse and pocketed some pretty nice change as a result. But you heard her. She had a dream that told her to go get the horse back, and so she sought the horse, made an offer to buy it back, and boy, has that turned out to be fortuitous.
There is Drill, a Keeneland grab by Lawyer Ron.
Ran a tremendous race in the Del Mar Futurity, getting away a little bad, having some trouble on the turn, going wide, and still was even bumped in the stretch and was still able to run down Creative Cause, among others. But he came back in the Norfolk at Santa Anita, and he wasn't nearly as impressive. He was really flat that day. No apparent excuse, but trainer Bob Baffert said he's going to put him in the game today. He's drilled him, he's worked him pretty handy since then, so I would expect to see a little bit of energy early from Drill.
They're taking blinkers off to an equipment change on Drill for this.
Kenny and Hank, are you going to try to beat Union Rags, 6-5 Union Rags?
I certainly am. I'm still on a high from young O'Brien. Joseph O'Brien helped make a very large exacta. Usually at this point I'm just grasping for straws, going after bombs, but with reason I'm going to try to beat this favorite. 6-5 right here. Hasn't gone 2 turns. Others have. Drill has a chance. And the way O'Brien is going right now, I would take a shot at Daddy Longlegs.
Well, thinking about Joseph O'Brien and what he just did, I've been thinking about Stevie Cawthon, who lives up the road, and he was about the same age when he rode Affirm to a Triple Crown, the last Triple Crown winner. But let's get to this race.
I had invented Breeders' Cup.
Yeah, I got you. Anyway, the winner of the Champagne, as you saw, was tremendous. But the only horse I'd give a shot to beating him here is Take Charge Indy out of the one post. He's bred for dirt. He's run on synthetics 3 times now. I want to see what he does on the dirt. Third horse I'm throwing into my exacta box, Fort Loudon, trained by Stanley Gold, who had Awesome Feather a year ago and run spectacularly. But my $100 win bet will go on
Union Rags.
Union Rags.
Hammers
Absolutely.
down on the 6 to 5.
Hey, Hammer still has over $2,000 there in that bank. He better get loose come classic time.
Can I take it home with me?
No, you have to spend it, Hammer. It has been one of the best looking days of weather a Breeders' Cup has ever seen. Aerial coverage is brought to you by Emirates Airline. Big crowd gathering in the paddock as we prepare to see some of the best 2-year-olds around. The Grey Goose Breeders' Cup Juvenile. And for those who only tune in a few times a year, the Triple Crown and then a day like this, explain to folks the progression of a horse racing career. You debut as a 2-year-old, you work your way into this fall championship season with hopes that your 3-year-old season will bring you back to Churchill Downs.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to work backwards, you can say if you're going to be a competitive 3-year-old in the Triple Crown, that you want to have at least have started and have had a race in the previous year, and most preferably one in the middle to late summer, then another one getting ready for the Breeders' Cup. And this is where, especially when it's at Churchill Downs, you can prove 2 things. You can go be effective at 2 turns, and also you can handle the strip, the surface here at Churchill Downs, because it's got a little bit of a funniness to it that not all horses like. So if you can do those 2 things and you have talent as a 3rd element, then the chances are that you might be effective in next year's Derby.
Riders have taken a leg up. The talk about is Union Rags, and Jay is with the trainer Michael Matz.
Michael, we're here at Churchill Downs, the site of your greatest victory in the Kentucky Derby. You're here with an undefeated colt. It's hard not to make comparisons between Union Rags and Barbaro. Is that worth making at this point in his career?
Well, there is similarities. I mean, he's coming into the race undefeated, and at this time last year, Barbaro had only won 1 race, and this is a pretty big jump at this point, but I think this is a pretty nice colt.
One thing that he's trying to do today, though, that he hasn't done yet is go 2 turns. How confident are you that that's within his scope today?
I don't think that is a problem at all, because he has such a good disposition, and we always thought when the distances got longer, he would be better.
All right, well, best of luck here, Michael. Thank you.
That's also won the Ladies Classic in 2006 with Round Pond after winning the Derby. Post Parade is brought to you by Equibase, the Thoroughbred Industries official database for racing and wagering information. Some Union Rags fans for the undefeated Colts by Dixie Union. Dixie Union stands at Lane's End, and Union Rags has the E-Cube that you'll see in this Post Parade with the speed figure, highest speed figure last time out. $2 million race here that has been moved on our Breeders' Cup card, a little deeper in the action of a Saturday afternoon on the back end of what was one of the more memorable turf races that we've had in recent years. The number 1 is Take Charge Indy. Of course, the sire's name rings loud. AP Indy, the 92 Classic winner. This Indy debuted with a 6.5 length win.
And her dam Take Charge Lady was pretty good, too. The 2 is Doulahan, a half-brother to 2008 Kentucky Derby shocker Mine That Bird. He won the Breeders' Futurity, a win-in-your-in Breeders' Cup Challenge race, so he is here instead of running on the grass, which was another option.
Well, here's the Coolmore group again. Crusade, the number 3, the 2-year-old out of the dam La Traviata, who is by Johannesburg, who won the Juvenile.
Number 4 is the Bob Baffert horse we saw earlier in the paddock. That would be Drill. Mike Pegram, Carl Watson, Paul Whiteman. Of course, won the Juvenile Sprint yesterday, 2nd in the Norfolk last time out.
The 5 is HANSEN. And there is HANSEN. Get a look at that coat on HANSEN. HANSEN is owned by Dr. Kendall HANSEN and won the Kentucky Cup Juvenile by more than 13 lengths.
And you'll see him way in front early. The 6 horse is Prospective, trained by Mark Cassidy, owned by John Oxley, who owned Monarchos, the 2001 Kentucky Derby winner, a winner of the Gray Stakes at Woodbine last out.
And the 7 is Creative Cause. He's been an impressive star in the California scene. Got the best of Drill in the Norfolk after running 3rd to him prior to that in the Del Mar Futurity. Joel Rosario rides him.
8 is Long Shot Spites City, a son of 2004 Breeders' Cup Sprint champion Speightstown, a maiden winner at Saratoga last time out in September. That's why he's 35 to 1.
There is the 9, Alpha. He's the colt who was watching Union Rags disappear into the horizon there in the Champagne, and the familiar royal blue silks of Godolphin on Garrett Gomez.
There is your early Kentucky Derby favorite, Union Rags. Phyllis Wyatt, the owner, sold him privately for $145,000. Buyer's remorse. Bought him back at a sale for $390,000. Said it wasn't a good business deal at the time. You saw the E-Cube, the fastest Equibase speed pig. It's a good deal now.
There's the other Coolmore and Aidan O'Brien horse. It's Daddy Longlegs, the 11 by Scat Daddy. Comes over to the U.S. with 2 wins in 3 starts. Ryan Moore has the mount.
There is Florida's Fort Loudon, number 12. Winner last time out of the In Reality Stakes at Calder.
And Optimizer. The 13 is Optimizer. Dwayne Lucas, the trainer. In the history of this race, no trainer has won more juveniles than Lucas. Robbie Alvarado is the jock. You can visit the Equibase mobile site at equibase.com to get entries, late scratches, program changes, and results from the official source of racing information. That's at equibase.com. Six to 5 on Union Rags as they are all lined up deep to get down on the Juvenile. Remember, 163 million bet over 2 days a year ago. The Gold Room buzzing with the handicapping action. They got the handicapping tournament here with a $10,000 buy-in, the Breeders' Cup Betting Challenge, the biggest in the world. Yep, the youngins are being let loose. The 2-year-olds, the Juvenile, and the current odds, as has been the case all week long, the unbeaten Union Rags is getting all of the attention. Number 10, 6 to 5. Javier Castellano is the jock. The veteran trainer, Michael Matz, puts forth Union Rags. Let's talk about the history of this race, Randy, because for years we always heard the phrase the juvenile jinx in terms of, most people feel, well, if you win this race, it's going to set you up well. The Kentucky Derby, the Triple Crown. It's only happened one time. It was Street Sense in 07 right here.
It's a completely farcical notion that there was a jinx because plenty of horses came out of the Juvenile.
That's right.
And won the Kentucky Derby. They just didn't win the Juvenile. Well, Street Sense did it, as you pointed out. But the last 4 haven't made it to the Kentucky Derby because a lot of times the Juvenile is won by precocious horses that just peak early in their careers, and either they're injured or they're just not capable of a mile and a quarter.
One of which was the horse from California, Janine, Creative Cause, who's been precocious this summer and shows up here.
Yeah, and he is a Grade 1 winner, but he did have quite a scare on Thursday morning. When he went to the track, he was kicked by the lead pony. It's not very often that happens. Usually it's the other way around, the horse kicking the pony. But watch the pony's right hind leg. Boom, there it is. And he got him. He got him on the inside of that left hock. You can see him hop there a couple steps. The horse definitely felt it. But trainer Mike Harrington told me the next morning, he said it actually looked worse than it was. There was no broken skin. He said we cold hosed the leg. We painted it with DMSO and Furicin. And he actually did school in the paddock later that day, but Creative Cause did not train Friday morning, and he did not train this morning. So make of it what you will.
Well, and some will make something of it. Creative Cause is 6 to 1. He's been battling out there in California with the number 4 Drill, who's 9 to 1.
And our formulator fact revolves around Drill and the fact that Bob Baffert is taking the blinkers off of this horse. When he has done that with his 2-year-olds, his overall record win percentage 34%, and compared to his standard win percentage of 22. So he has some success with that move.
Let's check in with Caton.
Joe, the track has dried considerably over the last hour or so. There are patches that water is still standing on it, but just patches, and then there are other areas where you can see the lightness of the track where it's dried out almost completely. Joe?
distance, Kate.
Wait till you see the gray horse blast out from the starting gate here.
So that is the 5 Hansen.
Yeah.
Who is 7-1. You say just he goes.
He leaves the gate like his tail's on fire.
He goes as fast as he can, as far as he can. At least he has in his other 2 starts. Now, here's number 10, Union Rags. The only issue with him is obviously he has never gone around 2 turns, but getting to that first turn from the 10 post, he shouldn't have a problem. Javier Castellano was inside, outside, up, back in the Champagne. He did all sorts of things, had all kinds of trouble, and still was able to overcome it. So he's a pretty handy horse. I think Javier can put him wherever the situation dictates. But he's worth watching at least into the first turn.
I mean, one of the main dangers is just an exceptionally wide trip if he can't work out any kind of a ground-saving trip on that first turn.
Michael Matz, who was the trainer of Barbaro, who had Derby fame here at Churchill Downs, and now comes back here to Churchill Downs at the Breeders' Cup with an undefeated 2-year-old who has been one of the horses that's been the talk about of the week. Union Rags, number 10, the horse to watch for. And there is the gunner, Hansen, number 5. You say, watch out for Hansen right out of the gate. Can Union Rags stay unbeaten? Let's get the call of the Juvenile with Trevor Denman.
Once again, Joe, just 2 left to load now for the Grey Goose Juvenile Division. Fort Loudon coming forward, and then Optimizer to the outside gate. Fort Loudon goes forward. Still the hot favorite out here is Union Rags. Even money as they load Optimizer. Runners very well behaved. They're standing real quiet. Optimizer's up to the gate. He's just hesitating this last bit. Coming up now, though. He's half in. He's in. Optimizer's in. All set for the Grey Goose Juvenile. Now getting a little restless is Alpha in the gate. The rider is off Alpha. Settle down, though. Looks like he's coming to remount inside the gate. He sure is. Garrett Gomez getting back up on Alpha. All set.
He's on!
And away they go. Fort Loudon broke well, but so did the grey Hansen, and Hansen likes to be in front. He will be. Creative Cause is right there. Spite City is showing good speed as well. Fort Loudon now caught wide. Alpha is going up just behind them. They couldn't be going any quicker for this distance. Down at the rail, Take Charge Indy in the white colours. On the far side, Union Rags. Let's see, Union Rags is 7th. He has to go wide too, and he's about 6 lengths off the leaders. Right behind him comes Prospective. They are then being followed by Daddy Longlegs, who can't go at this pace. Inside of him is Optimizer. Drill has taken far back today. Drill is 3rd last, a good 11 off the leaders. Inside of that comes Crusade, and Kent has almost taken Doulahan last. Doulahan 15 off the lead. They run to the half-mile pole, and Hansen in front, but only just today. Hasn't got that massive lead. Hansen by just over a length. Spite City is tracking from the 2nd position. And let's see, Union Rags has had to go wide throughout, but he's been sent early now. There goes Union Rags. Gold Cap on the far side. Creative Cause has had the better trip, though, and Creative Cause is now taking 2nd. Union Rags 4 wide. In behind that, Fort Loudon. Then Take Charge Indy and Optimizers behind that. Doulahan's far, far back. Top of the lane, and it's all hands on deck for Hansen now. He has to dig deep and find more, but he is. Creative Cause now. Here's Union Rags, and look at him stride out in the center of the track. And Union Rags went wide throughout, but he's coming. Creative Cause. Hansen is running an absolutely huge one on the inside. Hansen just keeps on going. Union Rags is shifting to the outside. Creative Cause is 3rd. Hansen keeps going. Union Rags, Hansen, and Union Rags. Hansen, the more they asked, the more he gave, and Hansen, what a thriller. Hansen to Union Rags, a little unlucky, he shifted ground. Creative Cause was right there in 3rd, ran a huge one, and Take Charge Indy finished up 4th.
The magnificent Grey Hansen, who they said he leaves the gate like his tail's on fire. It was on fire the whole way.
You know, this is a case where the horse that won probably wasn't the best horse in the race.
True.
Number 10, Union Rags, was caught wide on the first turn, was forced wide down the backside, and especially wide on the far turn and turning for home. But you got to give credit to the winner, Hansen. I mean, the fence and the lead has not been the best place all day, and he showed a lot of grit and determination hanging on as number 10, Union Rags, with jockey Javier Castellano, takes a beat on him. He was struggling. He kind of drifted out, did Union Rags through the stretch, and makes one final lunge at the wire at Hansen with Ramon Dominguez, but I think it came up just a little bit short.
Hansen had won his 2 previous races in wire-to-wire fashion at Turfway Park in Florence, Kentucky on synthetic polytrack. He would open up an 8 or 10 length lead, and horses just don't win like that on synthetic racing on a regular basis. That's when you knew he would be better on dirt than on synthetics, and Ramon Dominguez did a good job with him here. Now, this horse at 1.25 miles, when you're talking about the Kentucky Derby next year, I mean, he's a game horse at everything, but that running style will work to his disadvantage.
Caton is with Javier Castellano, who was on Union Rags.
Javier, tell me about your trip.
Unfortunately, you know, the way he unfolded the race, I had to be wide the 2 turn and try to cover up, and didn't have the opportunity to cover up. The way he's come out of the race, I had to deal with that. But here on Hill, very happy with the performance he did, and hopefully I got luck today this time.
Thank you, Javier.
Meanwhile, Ramon Dominguez is here on the set with Hansen. Congratulations, Ramon. Tell us about that trip. What about the trip?
Well, it was pretty self-explanatory, easy, he was in front. A very high strong one to the first turn, relaxed way for me on the backside and kept on coming down the lane.
Well, you've had such expectations for the weekend. Does it feel good to finally just get one?
It certainly feels good, and I think the last push of motivation that I got it from the owners when I got to the paddock, and I realized that they had a party of 60 people, so I said, oh boy, I had to win this one.
Very good. Any chance this horse could stretch that speed out?
Jerry, he continued to relax, and that would be the key for him. I don't see why not.
Congratulations, Ramon.
Thanks very much.
Good job.
Congratulations to Ramon Dominguez pulling off the upset here in the $2 million Grey Goose Breeders' Cup Juvenile. He said, yeah, he goes, this was my motivation. Look at that party down there in the winner's circle. Janine, what do you have?
I'm here with winning trainer Mike Maker and his family, and he just walked up to me and said, what a thrill. Gosh, you know, you can train a horse for fitness, but can you train a horse to have that kind of determination and grit?
Nope, he's a natural. I mean, really, really strong horse.
Now, you could have ridden him in the juvenile turf because this horse has never run on dirt. How long did you bat that idea around?
Never considered it. We pointed the Breeders' Cup before he ever ran, so that's how.
Before he had ever run. Why?
You're going to hear the story from the owner. I'll let him tell it.
He must be pretty special.
Oh, yes, very.
Right here on your home track, you're a Kentucky guy.
Can't get any better.
Congratulations, Mike.
Mike Maker, the trainer of Hansen.
The owner, Kendall Hansen, of course, he named the horse as his namesake, is a doctor in northern Kentucky who says he paid for his first year of medical school by betting on the horses.
Yeah, he was a handicapper back in the day, a horse player. Says he's been following the game for over 30 years and playing along, and then decided to get into ownership. And the eponymous 2-year-old colt here takes the Grey Goose Breeders' Cup Juvenile.
When the gates open, Randy Moss called it, the gray horse is off and running. There's no doubt, as Ramon Dominguez said, it was pretty much self-explanatory. Right to the rail, right to the lead, and slow it up a little bit. Now here's the opposite side of the coin. Union Rags breaking from the 10 post. There was really very little Javier Castellano could do.
Wow.
The horse directly inside of him pushed him out a little bit even further as they go around this turn. And to keep from fouling him, Javier had to stay out. Now he's got a little chance to sneak in, but basically he could never get less than 4 or 5 widths off the rail. Both turns this happened, so you know, you just can't take that much the worst of it. Most horses can't and still win. Now here he's getting tired as Union Rags. Javier's riding him and asking for all he has. He's starting to drift away from the other horses, and that's a sign of fatigue. He's still trying, as you see, he narrows the gap, but it's a sign of fatigue, a little greenness. Javier hits him a couple times. He comes back in. The closer he gets in proximity to the gray horse Hansen, the more he'll fight. That's just a natural thing for horses. But still, he comes up a little short.
When he won the Saratoga Special at Saratoga, August the 15th, he did exactly the same thing. He got into mid-stretch, he had the lead, and he veered to the right, suddenly and sharply. So it appears to be a habit developing with this horse.
And Hansen is the first horse to win the juvenile over a Churchill downstrip from gate to wire since Is It's True in 1988.
Well, What you described up at Saratoga that happened at Union Rags and then came back to play today, that day they blamed the tote board distracting them up at Saratoga. The tote board is distracting nobody right now if you have a winning ticket on HANSEN at $16.20 on top of Union Rags. Overwhelming favorite, bringing back an exacta of over $46. And they are going to be partying in the winner's circle with this group. The Doc, who was a handicapper and a horse player, Kendall Hansen, and Harvey Diamond, his partner, as they ready themselves for the presentation of the Breeders' Cup Trophy. Still to come. Saw the hottest 2-year-old ever upset by the folks who own HANSEN as they are celebrating. High fives, hugs, and even going so far as kissing the winner's circle ground. What a moment. Look at this. Dr. Hansen saying, I have arrived. Kissing the winner's circle at Churchill Downs. Now,
our wives would not like that.
But I'd do it if I won a Breeders' Cup, Randy. Now, as for how the race was not won but lost, look at what Trackus offers up.
This is unreal. Union Rags traveled 78 feet further than HANSEN, lost by a nose. According to the Trackus formula of about 8 3/4 feet per length, Union Rags ran 9 lengths farther than HANSEN did. So Union Rags is still the early favorite for next year's Kentucky Derby.
Jay Privman has the winner's circle presentation of the Grey Goose Breeders' Cup Juvenile.
And with me is Swati Vias, the brand manager for Grey Goose Vodka, to present the trophy to a very happy winner's circle down here, Joe.
On behalf of Grey Goose, the world's best tasting vodka, congratulations on your spectacular victory.
And Dr. Hansen, your trainer Mike Maker was telling me the other day that the reason this horse got his name is you've always wanted to name a horse after yourself, and he told you this is the one, this is a superstar.
No, it's named after my family, and I'm so glad they're all here. And when I looked up to see if the name was available, I saw it last time it was used, 1978, last Triple Crown. So I hope a lot of you fell in love with HANSEN today, and I hope we can have a nice 3-year-old campaign too.
Are you hoping to kiss the ground here in the winner's circle 6 months from now?
Yeah, I will do it again, guaranteed.
All right, congratulations to everyone here. Joe?
Congratulations to that group. HANSEN, the winner of the Grey Goose Breeders' Cup Juvenile.